On our side, as the minority, we are going through some turbulence. We came in with 88 members, but the majority side will not let us have peace. So now we are back to mighty 87. Afenyo Markin say, on the side minority ne de enkoyi na omo ba no kuta 88 ena ntina na first na okem sakraman. Cecilia ni akwa kutia ba no 88 this what aba 87. Nanso nyame wo ho. Yeah, there you go. NPP for the omajimi o. NPP as a political party, they are very foolish. And anytime I say they are foolish, I am not enyame because every single day they prove to you that they are foolish. There is a political party almost 87 MPs, 87. Their party as a political party, the leadership of almost parliament, parliamentarians in Pongunyansa say, Sanko for no mudio in power, and no more parliament, no. No mudio opposition in parliament. They are still keeping Afenyo Markin, and they expect to say Afenyo Markin will lead them to come and get 190 votes, MPs. And with Jimmy, any serious party, Afenyo Markin, any sa APJ mun come pamu with leadership long time, because Afenyo. So all kind the terminal report and I send the track record and the politics more on any the only majority leader or to me the party for opposition omuluzi seats from 137 to 87. Afenyo Markin, that is his political record. He cannot run away from it. He is the first majority leader or to be leading a whole majority side from 137 to 87. Now, more MPP must stand that way. In Ghana politics, no, it will always remember Afenyo Markin as the worst leader in parliament. Okay, the worst parliamentary leader on the side of the NPP. It is the NPP for Niminyansa. They would have put a new face. Let me tell you, when the NDC wanted power, it was a very difficult pill to swallow. At a point, they had to do something. Not because Haruna Idrisu is not a good leader. Not because Muntaka is not good. Not because the NDC didn't know what they were doing. It was because they needed the NDC to have a new face in parliament. A new face that will symbolize something. A new face that will send a message to the people of Ghana. A new face that will show preparedness. It does not mean to say, time NDC for Haruna Idrisu, Haruna Idrisu is bad. Haruna Idrisu is corrupt. No, it is strategic. Sometimes, when a team is bad, you don't necessarily have to sit there and say, where they also bow. Strategically, you are like you're a good player, but sit on the bench. Afenyo Markin is a bad communicator. Afenyo Markin brought this party from 137 to 87. Madam Nefrona PJ na the two of Fujineno. Ono ote parliament na nananom ena opre ejapade ma omu. The leadership of the NPP, Sankomuni Munyansa, and the daily lost power because the honest truth is, NPP for AE or say Chemensa, Omode Afenyo Markin measure. What was the reason? The reason was that Oseme Chemensa, he wasn't going to, he wasn't going to sustain the numbers. In Tomuka say, you're 137. We want to get more seats. In Tianya Day, Yen Chenji or say chairman Sanyamfa Wimra. It is a chairman or say chairman Sabons, most are born with Jimmy. Namakofa Kwabena say, you don't want the hung parliament. You want to add more numbers to your numbers in parliament. Now your re-election numbers about 87. Why are you still keeping this joker? Why are you still keeping this joker in parliament? Say he is your leader. He lacks no sense. He cannot communicate. He can't dialogue. He's full of himself, very selfish, an individual who does not take anybody's advice. He makes mistakes and sit in the mistakes, shit in the mistakes, sit in the mistakes, and still think he's intelligent. This is a guy who brings nothing to the table. He being at the front of the NPP does not attract right-thinking, honest, neutral people. No. Because this guy's track record is terrible. And yeah, Afenyo Markin Cries, CJ Tokonu, I was Supreme Court over in 24 hours. Tokonu sided with him. These are some of the things he did. Ghana forward like you are stupid. You cannot take our judiciary for granted. Into the NPP losing elections, the NPP going out of power, this guy, the little month now or spending as the majority leader in parliament, and then they say party to cry. The party wasn't attractive because Akwa's actions and utterances, and the gestures and trying to use the courts to overtake the power of the legislature, it made Ghanaians understand that this guy is not the right guy to lead that party. You can see clearly that this guy is just daft. He feels he knows everything, arrogant. Even in opposition, he was still isolating seats. A very selfish leader. He believes to say there are some group of people in the party he has to align himself with. This is a guy who is the lawyer of Kennedy Agyapong and also a financier of Bawumia. How can he lead the party? This guy cannot lead a political party to win power. Into 87, it is going to drop. Now, the honest truth is, Moko Akwetiano, a dear impact pa na Afenyo Markin as the leader of the minority made when he went there. What impact did he make? Kwasi Ampenyi sa kwa kotiti eye obi party posters. He's not ripe to lead. He's a backbencher who has to be screaming and making noise. They be and say, shut up. This guy cannot compose himself and lead. This is a guy who slapped a police officer in uniform. He actually punched a police officer in uniform. This guy is not law abiding. This guy has done everything. What makes this guy a leader? A dear example na kwa we Setiama Ghana. He slapped a policeman who's supposed to protect him as a lawmaker. This guy. We sit in that country and we allow fools to lead fools. And it's an MPP na say, as much as I don't like Otchere Mensabonsu, Nyansa edasa ajimini ni team no akwa we been done team. As much as Otchere Mensabonsu, I don't like him, or a tribal bigot, another very selfish individual. No, Nyansa done team idea politics no sa Jimmy Afenyo e been done team, and Afenyo cannot maneuver his way. You think Afenyo Markin can convince anybody on the other side to do his bidding? The only thing he can do is to say, I'll give you money. And when that fails, that's all. When it fails, that's all. So why should a political party that is trying to find itself, that is trying to rebrand itself, that is trying to tell the people that we are not who we used to be, we are a different breed, our face needs to change, why should that political party still have such a callous, arrogant individual leading them in parliament? The party is still the same. Nothing has changed about the NPP in parliament. The face of the party is terrible. Inti Nyansenibia or Ghana Biano will never sit and say, I want Afenyo Markin and give his colleagues power. No, nobody will do that. We're Jimmy Bruta, and these are people we're sitting in Ghana. Now Obia Oya lawmaker, what's in sa Ediabo police in Kwasiawe Mimimbuno. He's a fool. He's a fool because what's in Sabo police in Yasum. Me yes adiero. So Afenyo Markin is a fool who is not supposed to be in parliament. He can take me to any court. A fool like this stretched his hand to hit a law officer, a police officer in uniform. Obonasum. Kwasia we say or to parliament or yemra. A Kurobian called the jail. A Kurobia ye serious and Kwasia we called the jail. Yeni so son Kwasia Sam so the CID boss not to or sorry, why no nice girl and Kwasia Sam not so. This guy is supposed to be standing trial. And the last time I told you the CID boss, as much as I respect you, this fool needs to stand trial. Because if you fail to put this guy before court, then it defeats the purpose of the Ghana Police Service. Say, an institution that is independent and an institution that we can respect, say, protect Ghana for. If the CID boss, you are not able to prosecute this guy, put him before court, then you sitting there, you don't need to sit there. You need to walk out and go sit home. Because the Embra is not supposed to be selective. The law is supposed to apply irrespective of which fool is standing before him or her. So the law is not selective. In Kwasia way, he actually slapped a police officer. So what are you doing? And this guy needs to face the law. We are not playing again. Oh. We are not fooling again. Oh. When adults fool, we will tell them in their face they are fooling. So CID boss, with all due respect, do not entertain this foolishness. I respect you a lot. I've given you that room. And you told us that investigations are ongoing. We want to know what has happened to that investigations. A lawmaker breaking the law. A lawmaker punching a police officer in the face. A lawmaker in parliament who is leading a group of lawmakers punches a police officer and nothing is happening. Under John Mahama, under Yohonu, under CID boss. What kind of country are we running? And then to us, what is going on? If I get the opportunity to meet the president, I'll say, Mr. President, you cannot have a lawmaker punch a police officer and tell me you think about the police. Prove to me that you think about the police. The CID boss needs to take this over. He needs to be prosecuted. We need to get to the bottom of this. You cannot tell me you are fighting corruption. Mr. President, you cannot tell me you want to retool the police. You want to help the Ghana Police Service. You want to make the state agency strong. And then a lawmaker punches a police officer and we sit in Ghana and we are speaking grammar. This guy needs to face the law. I have 5 minutes to end tonight's show. The law is the law. Now, won't to me and so yase masloko for akonifie won't to me efa eye masloko for kam yenu masloko for akoje omade me say masloko for say eye won't to me okase nyina okoba nyina sana wafa masloko for kam yenu sinifie me na okase won't to me say we are maslok for come and the maslok for someone saka card. It won't to me dear. Bibia ko we be kraw. O sorry na o Vietnam for la cost bi. Ne nsa na bedru ha na ne kon ne da ha. Say de bia onya ne ho la cost in show. De bia I say ono na osoa bidie. De say bibia ko wu na be kraw won't to me. Now another story ni. Cecilia Dapaa and the menoka say yes Cecilia Dapaa. Cecilia Dapaa, former sanitation minister Cecilia Dapaa, invited to CID headquarters to answer questions on oral. Intiasi oral for Afre Cecilia Dapaa so ombe answer questions be. Cecilia Dapaa de baby Cecilia go be corruption go. Why is it say interplast? Where everywhere water go, interplast go. Cecilia Dapaa on the corruption de bia obu de atrenchie. Cecilia Dapaa Abrowa besiaba osori adebi on corruption edi intentenwa on corruption edi eye kwa adebi on corruption edi eye mami odende anywhere corruption go Cecilia Dapaa go anywhere water go interplast go Cecilia Dapaa ya safre no yesi oral for say ombra questions bi ho be ya no Ghana any Accra aye fin na mami we Ghana ne Accra aye fin and we are trying to make sure we clean Ghana no Nana the Kweku Addo I the fuse anyanya nkyere ebeka kire say he will make Accra the cleanest city in Africa. Ne fuse syndrome ebeka sankwa say no omutam sika no mudi Cecilia Dapaa and your friend say omra na omba dwudwam na yehu eye the course into oral for atom nsa Afre Cecilia Dapaa say omba dwudwam anywhere Cecilia Dapaa go the corruption go everywhere water go interplast go Cecilia Dapaa no corruption mame. All right, now this is another story. When you edit chat for, I got 4 minutes near upon. Abozegia kasa. And Bawumia say, Mahamadu one eye atasa ohun. Atasa ne Mahamadu, we nyom ho abotra, Kennedy ne Mahamadu, we nyom ho abotra. Na last time Ibusa say, Mahamadu Bawumia, one and a permanent tadi man. Bawumia, I tell an even a permanent tadi man. Because minim Andrew said, who saw Oshata, they say chef of what I do say, minim say shirt no a trecotesu, say a for topu. I am not one and a pamba umian tadi, tell an even a pamba umian tadi man. When I pam akwawe, when I pam Bawumia ntade ma no. Because adibi obehye be size boom on sha de ma nda no ho da. Say the food in the aye ntrew, say die you. Say debi obehu Bawumia bia I say I saw a clerk. Debi obehu na say Pentecost clerk be as I say the one born clerk. Summary. Oh sorry, I know pam 100 million atade ahye apa wa srem wa pa be so trum ne nam Ghana atwi wanim. Oh sorry no wa ma wukunu wa dress say clerk Pentecost for clerk ne nam Ghana di kwase. When e pam akon tade man. We a shirt and I say a long sleeves and I say a chef for tade. Eh du ko todwe. Inti aye na ye measure na na say some America kire nkofo so we dem pimpam bibi man o ejimijimi. Me ntiase. Because the tailor in a bar ebe susum edi tape ton ho e measure me nya sure say because long sleeves na no yini na e betra ne nsa enti de bia I say una say Pentecost clerk I just say na samre into uton to man uto bi man na enya na samre utela ni into to pam bibi ma akoi de bia no wa dress say de okoji eye okoji tankers for sika bibi basa wonwan menim se ene monto ses say the food intra na say edien ana sibi onantini intra disturb me pa I don't know how me pa because they be me Bawumia bia no I said there's something off. Yasi kusibuati ntela ne pamatade ma no na kusibuati onemo asa achechede kusibuati asa pogireni enu ntira yasi kusibuati ntela ni ne pamatade ma Bawumia na hwe kusibuati ne hwe Bawumia but kusibuati why say Malcolm standing fan why koti ro gina ho on so come Malcolm a omo toshiba standing fan bi ho I say kusibuati ai the cathedral na mama me dwodwam wa ne empon me obe 2 minutes bi ne me dwodwam wedwa intiminjai obodam. Now look at this. Eye abozege last hour mummy fan wo mni empon we de bending. It was not my fault the NPP lost the 2024 elections. This is clearly stated in both the Mike Okwe and Kyeremanteng Bunsu report. Bawumia say, "Unu me be organize organa santimemu." Me catch them say, "NPP mu obi apeso Jimmy kasa okana santimemu." Obi apeso Jimmy o NPP mu bia e kan kwase akasa e dada nipa no asantimemu no kokano. Oh so okano or say it is clearly stated in both the Mike Okwe report and Kyeremanteng report. Onim say omo ogina mo nimu asante adanse asokwa e kasa omo nkenkan. Me say who NPP ni a we Jimmy osaya asantini a na who what tree cobra tree mantam NPP ni no na sa NPP no one mantam na obetima pepa de 2 bi ni edi NPP ni a we Jimmy a osaya asantini me say oh maybe okojina ka asasem no because odim say omo gina nanim delegate na omo asantime mu no omo ntumi nkan en kenkan musa dan kwa aka omo giru JSS na omo wie enti o say me enya me photo any lose elections no enso no ka kire Ghana for say ono ne policies here dey call election nim ono na ye manifesto or dey call election nim ono na no asem na Ghana for also mutie to abama no o lose election na o ka kire mo say enya ne fault na why fault asimesi etro manifesto be kan manifesto be 3 hours say nyanse da ne trimunie na no asem nie mo first year ne ma no mo nhwe ho na mo ma no na nim nyansa yenti na no asem yentoma no na nipa de tie wa no asem yero mu so wagimi no man to ama afere o ka kire say enya wo fault enti na mo lose election na ehwana fault ehwana fault it won who steady nkofo we ya maka kire wo say Bawumia omumbu asantifo no sa asem we okay oduru ho a ontumi kan kira wonafo I want to know it is not my fault. Oh, please. You say, also, I am sorry. My brother, I know you are talking. When we read the report, in fact, our constituency chairman brought the report. What we find out that it was your fault. We, the Voltarians, we can read and we can write. And when a kind report, they boost our questions. 10 in the back in kind, where no one can kind into a good answer to quack. Who can report and why never can report to? Mr. NPP near with Jimmy. Osaye ede asantinia sebio na mantam ne bodai mu one wo wa mantam no deja wo no because an MPP nina or ya Santini was a Jimino. So Jana, Obetmat to be a D, a bina Bawumia de Yomono, with Ja. Hey, can we tell her? Yantiasia Ubo Dam. Catch him say, as far as I am here, Jandam is dead. Obia ni space. Let's do clean journalism. Let's speak the truth. Let's use the facts. And unkwa obia hombetono. Na samoya maju insamo de Jandam ebet na Ghana. Me di mu atem na ma correct mo. Now, these are some of the things when it comes to a year on state prosecution in some of Mahama Khan Endra. A media houses or more Ghana. Imagine say, person better no creno. In Sambia, Mahama Eka Efa security, prosecution, any other than Nebini, Mumia Gotia Mahama, way any in Sama Okafa, a state prosecution home.
My friends, I understand that public accountability and the recovery of looted state resources are at the top of your expectations from my government. And let me assure you, my fellow citizens, that we've not wavered in our commitment for even a moment. Neither have we been complacent. What you are witnessing is not inaction, it is our steadfast adherence to due diligence, due process, and fairness in the pursuit of justice. Yes, our insistence on doing things the right way may afford those who have looted this country some temporary relief, but let me be clear, it will not grant them permanent escape. Across multiple fronts, active pursuits and prosecutions are well underway under the Operation Recover All the Loot. Over 200 cases are under active investigation, with about 80 people interrogated so far. Several prosecutions have begun, progressing steadily and remaining firmly on course. In the Republic versus Edubwa and 3 others, the state has submitted witness statements together with all other documents, and trial has commenced. And the first of 3 prosecution witnesses have been called and have been cross-examined by counsel for the accused person. With the SkyTrain case, for instance, the prosecutors have secured a trial date, as all preliminary matters have been concluded and the trial is set to commence. For the National Service Authority case, due to its expansive nature, charges have been drafted and will be filed as soon as the legal year begins against the following person: the Republic versus Osei, the Republic versus Aremeyaw, the Republic versus Gyamfi Owari. Also for the National Cathedral, we are awaiting a forensic audit from the Auditor General. Additionally, charges have been drafted and are ready for filing in the case of Republic versus Wuntumi and Akunta. The Economic and Organized Crime Office, IOCO, is finalizing its report with respect to Exim Bank transactions. Dockets are in preparation for the buffer stock case and the drip equipment case. Investigations are ongoing into the African Cup of Nations case, the March Set case, and approximately 20 other cases currently. Let me be clear, every single case of corruption that needs to be investigated is being looked into. And once evidence is found to ground the prosecution, that will happen and happen swiftly. Looking within, we launched a code of conduct for public officials with an insistence on strict...
President take us and run. Jama we nyina media for it to man kan ho asem kwasiafo omo bese Ghana for be hu de eko. President say memo obi abemumbu ora na o de bae no edwumadi omudi na ekoso. Na opeso sha Ghana for bo say eye omo a omugina eye eye emra no a ye toto oma no a omomodi oman no dwirim omodi esika no Ghana mine through the Attorney General's office no emra no eye adwuma me obi a nya na adwene se bibia nkoso sebio se obi fa edua na onfa mbo wa menka so onfa mbo na Ghana for bebre enwinwi adentina Bahama ba ya yanche obi antum o say wey a political prosecution on pese na aban no ededien eye gidigidi ebe bibia sebio nipa bi abokro no na omafa tokro madwane omo ye no sene eye se omofa mra kwan so na sebio okasei o say cases nkwa be 200 at the table so omdi hu adwuma 200 cases na all can see nipa nkwa eduowotwe eye 80 and aban the security agencies Yoko CID Attorney General mo afro mo atoto omano they have been interrogated nipa edu watche 80 now or see 80 people any afro mo yatoto omano President take us and run or see case a efa edubu ahemo no sa case no sesia no e court eye attorney general kana asem ema sebio omo a yetoto oma no court ni nyina no attorney general kra afre adansefo ema eye atachia ene ne school boys no so omo so afre adansefo a sa asem no e court sesia omudi president saka bibi o say sky train Professor Akufo Addo no eno si asema e court sesia omo prepare document a omo begina enim ama sebio omo a omo di sa abone no Ghana eni omo di president kasa no o say eba bibi ti say national service scandal baye efa o say sibe ene obi ti say Eric Nyako ene girl achichide na your friend gift to aware no o say case ni e case bi a sebio court ebebie enche court besa betena se ewo afia ebedi enimi ba afia o metena se your friend the court here or say court ebesa tena se yebebie be bosu edi enimi court tena se a give to aware ni national service asem no omo de be court ama ya start edi sa asem no president ne kasa o say we nyina ekoso president ne kasa no say national cathedral sa asem no attorney general gina so dendin a omo ye forensic auditor omo wi a omo di sika wa national cathedral mu no ye de omo pa ebe so omo pa de omo akogina court mema obia be mu attorney general no ene yoko mu ene CID office no omo nya abotre pensem mo make sure say obia emra no be so de pa bia no sa nipa no e wo say emra eni ni di omo sa president saka say o say won to me oji sika e wo exim bank so de ko we fu $50 million we di wontumi ensa akoye galamsey ni nyina no yoko agigi sansem ni nyina kekesiani na court bia wontumi so asem no government of Ghana attorney general enso edebe court na chairman wontumi ono so one Ghana ban ewura court ose buffer stock enso krono bi ko so wo ha buffer stock no enso asem no omo de beko court a omo ye ho nkrata nyina ewie African Cup Africa Cup yo bobo na nsen ye friend no Mr. P, Mr. S, what's the name? The AU Cup, Mr. S, Mr. What, how do they call it? I'm organizing on Legon. I'm a friend saying, sir, African Cup, I'm organizing. Mr. S, Mr. P. I also the organizing and see Ghana and also omo the air kokota nipa bi omo di sika mo kai sa event no na Bediatuo yere enya $17 million to cook food for 17 days 17 million to 17 days and also also ensem wo ho a the former sportsman all African games thank you very much all African games and African Cup all African games no be the nansen Bediatuo yiri nya 17 million to 17 days rice no and also omo ye ho krata omo de quarter former sports minister no ono we chuku nkofo pa waka nkofo gum and also ombedi ho dwuma president kazo say mokai match set scandal bi na ba under NAPO NAPO blue grass company bia NAPO ko form ba ya omo de match set scandal sika bi omo bedi no o se sa asem no aban air process de court na omo di sa adwiri mu no sa nkofo ni nyina no at the end of the day no aban e de omakogina court me atwoma so na president kazo say 20 other cases attorney general good table sisi a odi hudwuma inti masa president so obi anya abotre afena we this 9 months pe wa ban mu apeso amanfo say atwoma so betwoma so inti se wotie president no na wo hwe adwuma a waya wa adwene be wo say president no watena so 3 years eno na surprise nipa bebre almost share the success at NDC Abaya Choke, John Mahama leadership for 9 months. Nyoma Omaya no, Ayana Nipe Bijin said John Mahama Tana Bemu 3 years, and so 9 months, technically 8 months. John Mahama said, Munya Butre, Obia, I was say, Yachin Tum, our Ghana Mrem, we dear Sikano, Paul Adomochimoa, the under investigations, OSP Munan, Sanko Fodin in Abedem. Into Obia Butre, now Omunya Butrema, Attorney General, Mbwejuma. Mr. P. Mr. S, you have another video for me. Mr. President Eka Sembi for hate speech. Hate speech.
Bureau now has the technology to use your IP number and find you wherever you are. So I'm sending a signal to Ghanaians that we can find you those doing those hate speech and things. We'll use your IP number, we'll trace you. And when we trace you, we'll deal with you under the criminal code for inciting violence and disturbance of the peace. But I believe that beyond that, we must start making regulation for this new media because it's unregulated. And so anybody just takes a phone and says, oh, this plane crash, I wish that so and so had been the one in the helicopter and had died, and dwarfs have eaten him in the forest. I mean, why would you say something like that? And so we need regulation for that new emerging media. But in the meantime, the National Signals Bureau has been given the full authority to track down people who do that kind of thing and bring them to be sanctioned under the criminal code.
President Akasa, we argument be enim. Or say, we are Ghana ni. It does not matter where you are. Say, why are you say? What the hate speech? Everything social media, everything TV. So on the also or cultural. Sebio and the Wama Obino through the National Signal Bureau, their full authority to look into the system. Obi awa na adwene say, obey using the platform, the social media platform, to incite tribe against tribe, incite people against people, to hate, to cause some kind of mayhem, chaos through hate speech. Mr. President say, on the waka, or say, or the 2 million ama NSA. Communication Ministry so air draft emra yede beto ho enti president de also aka wa so ye bema no me so also ye bema te se me call na so person ye te Kevin obetuma ye say Kevin e person ye say Kevin also unya evidence they can wa asem bia ho so wo say wo ye bema president naka enti we de ye bie floodgate no kone koye me say Muna muti social media ye na Kevin Taylor ye no obi anya no hwe na Kevin Taylor me see ye hwese Mahamadu Bawumia Kevin Taylor ye na tama na NPP was na Kevin Taylor di atem na me see se Kevin Taylor ye na so Kevin Taylor ya nchena ntum Kevin Taylor ba Ghana ya nchena ntum na so be ya President Mahama say emra no wo ho inti wa pese o ye be ma na obese o ye no o ye oba ye it does not matter where you are, you can do it. Ekrobia Ghana embassy wo you can do it. 80 president de ompa obi a chew omfa nsanto nsayem oseme nka nkire wo say so ye bema na so so weni adin na asem na oka no wo so de obetuma ya abroso a opeso ka chew say ewiase bebia Ghana embassy wo na Ghana so Ghana wo it wo de ye enti we de se Kevin Taylor ye bia wo so ye ne nhwe try your luck ni enhwe say Kevin Taylor ye ya nche no na Kevin Taylor didi etufu atam na Kevin Taylor didi kofu atam na Kevin Taylor didi mwaka ni nyina amanasi yate wo so didi etufu atam na so didi kofu atam didi Mahama atam na kekansam na ye hate speech ne fa to abonte ni enhwe try your luck ni enhwe try your luck ni enhwe mesremo try your luck ni de obi atumi tubi enti try your luck ni enhwe try your luck so wo so de no betuma edibalu kase na because me too try your luck and me di balu kase no hu amana pai wo ye the try your luck na ba into wo so hu ne nhwe so be di balu kase na to ne nhwe into president wan pa wo chow o say so ye bema o yo ba na se obese emra no wundi so wo se Kevin Taylor ye ntu be ya o say ye but o say me remind you say ekrobia nipa wo ma Ghana embassy wo bia Ghana ni wo ho bia no embassy wo ho into there it does not matter where you are. Odo betima tena Uzbekistan na anaso betima tena Ghana no we use Uzbekistan IP also the opaye president say odia opa tena Ghana na use Kazakhstan IP na farie hate speech or social media also ye bema ye say Kevin Taylor ya also ye nyenhwe say try your luck no say ye nyina na etubi di balloon kase say be di balloon ketwa because try your luck in the balloon no edoso balloon ye nkete balloon bi o eso balloon bi me de me di balloon kase na mapai no wo so ko di balloon kase ne hwe into try your luck no president Mahama so bi an try the luck na try ne hwe so this year akpalu ewie ya na eyi no na bodwe kohwe nanim ai so fui akpalu mon kwasiafo mo ti social media mo keka kasa kwasiakasa muni ebusuafo mpa ene ye che wo ma be yiu girls ya ye ko che o mutu o mo ho fi mienu yi unwo ba ko maame ho abrewa maame a onika pre ohiani ese ko hwe mobile money so sikampo ni so na ne bati kumase ne ho fie yusu no ho se oye NPP ni ene a che na hyemu ene ye yi o mo a wo hu o mobusuafo 90% of nkwara mo ti social media ka say ye de say Kevin Taylor kaye me so mo nyina hiafo ma na we dey try your luck no ato ye de balloon ni nyina abebo nkete wom ufili ari kase ne enhwe try your luck ne enhwe ti president Mahama say try your luck. What you change your IP na try your luck rienhwe. What you tena Ghana na change your IP ni ko Kazakhstan na try your luck rienhwe se balloon be locate wa. It is simple as that. What you tena Ghana because all NPP ni, you want to peddle this kind of hate speech, no problem. You want to put on social media hate speech, no problem. Would you try your luck? Never Kazakhstan IP ye. Near her say Kazakhstan IP never find out and I say find out. Or they wouldn't the eba. Now, team, let me go through some of the positives. Yate, I have about 23 minutes to end tonight's show. Or say Kevin Taylor ye intimacy maybe. Na mo the MPP de mo jimie utumi MPP communicator penyini na oti TV so what did you do to Kevin Taylor hwe no kwasia ko kan asem na wo party mra power and what did you do? I said me na me control party no I said me na me president na Kevin Taylor me sister Kevin Taylor yeah wo so ye bie Kevin Taylor me ye. There was never a day I'm here sure I never hid behind any TikTok account. I did everything with my face. And I came to Ghana with my face. Into the Kevin Taylor yebia. Also yebi. Try your luck na abano. President Aka or say mrana da ho. NSA4 yamomu to me. And a communication ministry so they mraba into try your luck. Oh the America. I'll put them in territory. There that say Adebi ewo wiase a na interesting so wo pekusie etwaniti na se kusie no tata kusie na kusie no kwa na osabe wura wo dem a you don't act, you don't react, you don't make noise. Me say so wo pekusie twaniti na wonam wura mu ehwehwe kusie na odo ne nanam wura nim open na pini ne down na kusie na fa na kusie no onante ya na obewura wo dem a yemfa gidigidi wura dan ne mu ubie pono ne kakra bi na wawuram no aka tumtwe sa na ebesi obanyansafo ebu ne be me say sa wo tata akusie na opekusie ne twaneti na wuram no fa no wura na wo tata akusie no open na pin ne down ope bibi dia afenese no okuta sekan wura na akusie no onenanam wura no mu ana obepie wo territory owura wo dem a wa dem o na okowura wo dem a unim se watoto untokura mu nyina unim se the only exit for kusie do sa gate no na wugina ntu bia na kwa no wawuram no akato na aka woni kusie do wo territory nim ehona na bo se kusie nkasa because kusie no oya king easy wo dem enti se kusie ra wo territory you don't act, you don't speak, you wait, you take your time, you take care of it. It is simple as that. Now as a Messi. Now, I'm in David. This is a statement. I was say, you know, is serious. If you ever say, government to allocate 1 billion to phase out double track system. Into Abain say, and the Jomahama Abain 1 billion at double track no. And then na omode ba be ye free ho totally. So far, omo yi be free wa aka krebi na omo wie double track ni na ma school for ni na ko school the same time. Enti Haruna Idris oye education minister on hweso no. O say aban John Mahama aban 1 billion atowa double track no omo de be ye free ho. Ni nyina ne say ye de ba be see more schools ni bia ka ho. Eye free SHS e-blocks na achechede ne nkwasiafo no entumi ensi bia ka ho MBA mu no. Omo ka so omo be see 350. Omo wie aban 8 years omo si school ba akokora. And the NDC aban say schools now musi no mo wie no buja no ho no omo be finish ni nyina abiem into double track no omo be ye free ho aban 1 billion Ghana cedis sa sika no na Haruna Idris no education ministry no omo de be fa so double track free ho into enche bia enkora ni nyina be go school the same day no mama kwan the same day no ma try exam the same day no mo nyina be fear the same day into abasa no krampa galamsey kura na so beti. Yes, because there's a lot of young people are. Oma kram papa na oma mama say omo go school, omo green light, omo blue light, omo ni campus, omo ye galamsey. Right now, say double track ni free wa. Unya akwaku ekodufia untumi nkancha papa say wo green light. Inti that is also another way krampa Abine is going to try and take out the young kids who are now into illegal mining off the street. Inti there are so many ways to stop illegal mining. There are so many young people are. Omugu nkransi sia omo maame na papa no so mo school and some ya gala because I will follow to me track school no Obama Kwaku Annan say also moko also mutina fi anase also mutina school and then no aban say or the 1 billion ebe be infrastructure dim ebe to nyoma e ma double track na free ho inti eba sana eye mbaba wa obobo jantra e wo e de asankore no sankora na nyina ko school a ne ma menim say abena pokuya ekọ Thursday and waba Friday a also mu nyina bedru Friday untumi nka kire say abena amakwan o the other who was school inti it is going to eliminate a lot of things and it's na aban we eye bibia say double track no obeye free o mama yemfe ndi agro we eye NDC about 42 years bibia begina na akwan so it's very very important.
Thanks for watching. Like and share the video. You can also drop your comment. Please don't forget to subscribe. Click on the bell to turn on the notification.